What if there was a way, I feel like I'm being sneaky even asking this, what if there was a way that we could kind of hijack our kids' brain chemistry? If there was a way that we could tap into the stuff that matters to their brains to help our children to feel a stronger desire to do the stuff that they don't necessarily tell us that they want to do, but we know that they need to do these things. If that makes sense, stay with us. Hello and welcome to the Happy Families podcast. Real parenting solutions every day on Australia's most downloaded parenting podcast. Kylie, I feel like I have to whisper. I feel like we're about to do something really sneaky here when it comes to hijacking our kids' neurology.
I want to know it all. Tell me.
So it's no secret. You're so funny. It's no secret that motivation for pretty much anything we ask our children to do can dwindle. I'm thinking of schoolwork primarily, but chores are the same thing, participating in life. Research shows a measurable decline, a consistent decline in our kids' intrinsic motivation, particularly as they're progressing through the school term. Like we're halfway through term one or thereabouts, and it happens for a whole lot of reasons. There's the increased level of pressure, there's the social distractions, there's the hormonal shifts if they're getting older, and there's the simple fact that they're getting tired. But if we can, I want to say hijack their brain chemistry, maybe hack their brain chemistry. Either way, it sounds like we're trying to be sneaky. We can
aren't we? That's what we do when we grate up the carrot and stick it in the bolognese so they don't know it's there.
What we're going to do today is talk about the happiness quartet, 4 neurochemicals that if we can hack into, we can help our children to find motivation for any number of things. I'm going to focus mainly on what's going on at school, but we can bring it into the home as well. So 4 of these, because Kylie, I mean, you and I have talked about this before. Our brains are these intricate chemical factories. There's this massive cocktail of neurotransmitters that influence everything from mood to motivation. And when we can understand how our brains and our children's brains work, then we're not really hacking them at all. What we're doing is we can create environments that nurture kids' natural curiosity and love of learning. Just like we talked with Professor Andrea Guastella about neurodiversity. Well, guess what? It's the same thing if you're dealing with neurotypical kids. All the same. So we're going to talk about 4 neurochemicals today, Kylie, that change the game when we understand how they work.
What's number 1?
We're going to talk about this thing that's known as the anticipation engine. Most people think about it as the reward chemical. It's not perfectly accurate, but the dopaminergic system is where we're playing.
Can you say that word again?
The dopaminergic system. We're talking about dopamine. I feel like you're teasing me, but you smiled at me and my dopaminergic system just went crazy. I feel like it was so rewarding. I should keep on saying the word. All right. So what do you know about dopamine? You've heard me talk about it a fair bit.
What's the feel-good hormone?
Yes. So when do you feel dopamine coursing through your system?
When somebody likes my post.
Yes. This is why social media is so addictive.
When someone tells me that I look beautiful. When the kids are playing nicely.
Well, that one's probably not dopamine so much. It could be a little bit, but there's something else going on there. Dopamine, as you've said, is usually considered the feel-good chemical. It's often called the reward chemical. But something that researchers discovered a number of years ago now, and I think it's really important, is that it's not just something that you feel when you experience reward. Dopamine is more of an anticipation chemical. You and I are on a bit of a eat well, what would you call it, challenge? The challenge is the wrong word, but we're trying really hard to eat good foods, which means as we've removed all the highly processed
Do or do not, Justin. There is no try.
Okay, so we're not eating highly processed foods at all, except for maybe...
Are you going to dog yourself in?
Well, it's really hard when I'm traveling to not... I mean, I'm working really, really hard on it. You're probably doing better than me, but we are both doing extremely well. Anyway, when you are not trying to eat super well, because here's the thing. Sugary foods, highly processed foods, whether it's a tasty ice cream or a sugary treat, whatever it might be, when you see it, when somebody brings cake into the office, what happens?
You get a dopamine hit.
Exactly.
I was going to say that one, but I didn't because I'm not eating it anymore.
That's exactly right, which is why I'm kind of stumbling a little bit because we're trying not to eat this stuff. Well, we're not eating this stuff anymore, so I'm wondering how authentically I can say it. But we've been there. We know what it is. You don't get the dopamine after the first bite. In fact, after the first bite, sometimes you go, oh, it's not actually that good. Quite often.
I don't think I've ever had that experience.
Come on. You're so funny. Quite often what happens with dopamine is that it makes us anticipate until, oh my goodness, I can't wait any longer. We finally have that thing. And then we go, like the build-up is all the dopamine, and then we get the reward, and there's a bit of a come down from it. So that's dopamine. Dopamine is the thing that makes it feel so good to chase the goal. And it also helps us to feel a little bit of satisfaction around completing a task or doing something hard.
Well, I was about to say, I think that I got a huge dopamine burst after I painted our feature wall the other day.
Yeah, yes, that's right. Yeah.
I was really nervous to do it. I was putting a bold colour against our white background, and it felt amazing once I finally did it, and it looked great.
And I got the same dopamine hit looking at the great job you did after I'd finished writing another chapter for my book. Here's the practical tip. Okay, we're talking about hijacking our kids' brain systems here. If you want your children to experience consistent dopamine bursts, anticipating goodness or feeling the reward and satisfaction of a job well done, break big, difficult tasks down into smaller, more manageable steps, because they start to feel like they're making progress. And the more progress they feel like they're making, the more each step triggers a dopamine hit, which fuels their motivation and their sense of accomplishment.
I love that idea. It reminds me of the story we told about me going over to my friend's house, and her daughter was having a meltdown because she had to clean her bedroom, and it was such a big job.
Yeah.
She didn't know how to do it.
When you chunk
But when you chunk it and break it down, it was so manageable. She just needed guidance and direction. And the dopamine hit at the end of that, once it was all done and she got to spend time with our daughter, was such an awesome thing to experience.
So to pump up dopamine in the system, it's really about progress, small steps, feeling a sense of accomplishment. Look what you did. Now what can you do? Let's keep it moving forward. Momentum. That's how you hijack their system and keep them focused on whether it's little things like unpacking the dishwasher or cleaning their room, or writing an essay or studying for an exam.
What's number 2?
So the second one we're going to talk about is serotonin. Serotonin is, I'm going to call it the calm conductor. What I mean by that is serotonin is the serenity superhero. There we go. I'm going for the alliteration now. What it does is promotes feelings of calm and contentment and well-being. It's like this antidote to stress and anxiety and all of that adrenaline that's running around the system, because those things sabotage learning and they reduce motivation. So if we want more calm, if we want more serotonin buzzing through our kids' brains, best thing to do here is to slow things down. Take your foot off the accelerator. My experience with our kids is that the best way to do this is to step outside and get some green into our lives, get some blue sky into our lives, get some nature into our lives. It feels like anything outside, any kind of a short walk down to the end of the street, sunlight, fresh air, these are all the things that boost serotonin.
I love this idea because it's actually, for most of us, not the first thing we think of when we're stressed out.
No, we feel like we've got to go harder and faster at that brick wall that we're banging our head against.
Yeah. So it's it is actually counterintuitive to what our natural response would be when we're feeling highly stressed. But slowing down and getting ourselves barefoot on the grass in green space is so powerful.
I didn't think of barefoot.
So important.
I wish I'd put that in my notes. Love that. The other thing about serotonin is that when you do these kinds of things, what it does is helps with emotion regulation. So when your kids are dysregulated, I've been saying this for years, one of the best things that you can do is touch grass, get outside, be in the open air. Dysregulation just drops off so much when you're not indoors. I don't think indoors is actually how humans are supposed to spend all their days.
I was having a conversation with a friend the other day, and she acknowledged that while the beach is a beautiful place to be, that when we want to feel really grounded, we actually need to go to the grass. We need the firm earth under our feet, not the shifting sands.
Oh, I like that.
And it was just, I think that's a really powerful thought. at a time when you're feeling highly stressed, highly dysregulated, you actually need the firmness of earth.
The other thing to bear in mind here, if you want more serotonin in your life but you can't get nature, maybe you're living in an apartment, maybe you're on an airplane and you're just not feeling calm at all, like any number of environments, maybe you're stuck in a classroom, by helping your kids to understand some basic deep breathing exercises, mindfulness practices, those same practices will help you to boost serotonin. After the break, 2 more ways that you can help your kids to hack their brain, their neural circuitry, so that they can be calmer and happier and get more done. Kylie, we've talked about dopamine. Dopamine is the anticipation engine. We've talked about the serenity superhero, which is serotonin.
I'm interested to know what number 3 is.
This time we're going to talk about one of my favorites, endorphins. Endorphins are my favorites because these are the real reward chemicals. These are the ones that make us feel so good, usually because we've done something, and they require, as a typical thing, they require us to be doing, to be
we're
active.
Moving our body.
Yeah, so like dopamine is usually anticipatory, but endorphins come as a result of.
Yeah.
So a couple of examples. We release endorphins in response to high levels of physical activity, like I said, moving your body. We release endorphins in response to laughter. So if I'm going, and I'm having a big old laugh, my body is releasing endorphins. I'm feeling better even though I did that stupid laugh right then. It makes me feel better, okay, because of the endorphins. Even a warm hug. So hugs are good for serotonin, but they're also great for endorphins.
And I would assume that when we have positive connections with other people, positive interactions, we're experiencing endorphin.
That's right. And here's what's fascinating. This is why, I mean, you talk about that warm hug. Endorphins are natural painkillers.
Yeah.
So when the kids hurt themselves because they've fallen over and you give them a hug, that hug releases the serotonin, which is your serenity superhero, but it also releases endorphins, which act as natural painkillers. That's why mummy giving you a kiss on your hurty knee, the knee feels better. And it's not because there's any sort of incredible properties in mum's skin cells on her lips. It's because the endorphins that your brain releases in response to the kiss make you feel better.
Well, everyone will have experienced this. You're having a bad day, you've got a really bad headache, but you catch up with somebody that you're excited to see and you have the capacity to enjoy that conversation, enjoy that interaction. And it's not until they go that you remember, oh, hang on a sec, my head hurts.
Yeah.
Because the endorphins are so powerful, they actually override any of the pain that you might be experiencing in that moment.
They also reduce stress, they boost mood. Here's the practical element, because we need to wrap up. Endorphins, if you want your kids to have them, encourage them to get involved in physical activity, whether they're playing tag in the park or running around the backyard or just dancing to their favorite music in the kitchen. Here's a pro tip as well. The riskier the activity, the more endorphins and the more resilience. I know that I get provocative when I say this sort of stuff, but if your kids are doing something at least once a week that could land them in hospital because of the risk associated with it, this is good for them. It helps them to release the endorphins. It helps them to have the dopamine. It helps them to be more resilient. It's just so good for them. And laughter. Oh, my goodness, laughter.
I can just hear it now, kids in the ER, and they, why are you here?
Dr.
Justin Coulson said it's good for me.
He's making my family happier by sending us all to hospital. All right, the last one that we need to talk about, and we are out of time, so I've got to go over this one fairly quickly, is oxytocin. Oxytocin is the connection. I'm going to call it catalyst, the connection catalyst. This is the love hormone. It's playing this crucial role in social bonding and trust and emotional connection. It's released during positive interactions with people that you trust. It creates a sense of belonging and security. So strengthen family bonds, but help your kids to get oxytocin release even at school by sitting with people who make them feel safe, and hopefully by having at least one adult in their lives that makes them feel good because they're at school. Shared meals, game nights, bedtime stories, these are all opportunities for oxytocin-rich moments, and they make kids feel better.
Well, I think that I could do with a little bit of a serenity superhero right now.
Right, okay, so you want a hug, is that what you're saying?
Just slow it down.
Or you just want to go and lay on the grass? When we understand the power of our brain chemistry and our children's brain chemistry...
Don't get all doctory on us. I really just preferred it when you talked about hijacking our kids' brains. That sounds way more interesting.
I was about to say it's not about manipulating their brains.
It's hijacking it.
It's about providing support and encouragement and opportunities so that they can thrive and so they're motivated to do well at school and help out at home and create a happy brain for them.
Well, let's go and give our kids a boost of oxytocin and give them a good hug.
The Happy Families podcast is produced by Justin Rulon from Bridge Media. More information and resources to make your family happier at happyfamilies.com.au.